just want to show you this little job, which is the mast. It's not much of a mast, more of a stubby mast, but nevertheless it's going to have a use with navigation lights being on top of it, and I'm going to put things like pulleys on there for flags and also for washing lines and stuff like that. So it is going back on the boat. So looking at it, it's a bit crappy, and it seems there was some kind of shape to it. A notch cut out of it there, but it's all rotten. So what I'm going to do is whip the bottom end of it off, and that means we'll have to advance this hole, which is the securing hole for it, up there. And yeah, I was going to try and graft a bit of oak on it or something like that, but I actually don't think it's worth saving because it looks just too crappy. So there you go, that's today's little job. Then we're going to sand it all up and paint it white, because I don't like brown. Brown's not my colour. Oh my god, it's all rotten. Just starting to wonder whether it's worth the effort. Oh. I think maybe Mast restoration might come to a staggering, grinding halt until we can work out what's good. Okay, so this may prove to be a bit of a waste of time because, yeah, rotten as a pear springs to mind, as a well-known phrase or saying. So, what to do with that? I think it could be it's either a very, very short mast or it's a new one, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what's good. I'll carry on burrowing out, see what's left. Might be able to graft a bit of oak in there or something, but I just, I mean, you know, there ain't a lot that's good. Okay, after the mast disappointment, all I was going to do was sand it off and paint it, but it's never the way, is it? Anyway, so there ain't a lot left of it really by the time I've cut all the dead wood out. So current thought is I've got this lump of oak lying around in the barn, so it's just about enough to do 80 wide, which is what that is. So I'm thinking square this up, cut that square off, and what we do is we'll try and keep both of these sides, and we'll just do a big mortise and tenon and crash them together and put bolts in, like to grip the mast to the wood, and and maybe a strap. And yeah, we'll see where that goes. This is the second job of the weekend, the first one being the failed mast. This is the box that the isolation transformer came in, and it struck me that it was a too nice thing to throw away, so we're kind of giving it a coating of epoxy just to stop it from rotting, and I'm just going to paint it white basically. So it's a box, so I'm going to turn it into a seat that's going to go hopefully on the front of the boat. Might be used to store the ropes in, stuff like that, but get a cushion made up to go on the top, and it can be a seat. So we'll see how far that goes. It could all be rubbish, but yeah, it just seemed ready-made box, short storage on the boat really, so yeah, hopefully it might sort us out with something useful. worth a coat of paint anyway. This is what's left of our mast after I've chopped all the crap out, the rot. So what I was going to do was make us some kind of a mould with this piece of ply and pour some fiberglass and fill that up in an attempt to make it stronger. Then I've hacked about with this piece of oak here, which is going to take that kind of spade bottom of the mast, and then I'll get the length back, and we'll cut that about to fit, and I think we might have to do some other things to make it stronger, but yeah, that way hopefully we're going to save the mast, which the way it was going was turning into a toothpick. So that is the plywood stuck on and siliconed all round, so I'm going to let that go off. We'll do the pour tomorrow. So had a delivery from Brooks yesterday, and this is the cedar tongue and groove that's going in the wheelhouse on the roof, which is absolutely lovely, and I wish there was such a thing as smell-o-vision, because this just smells absolutely gorgeous. So that's nice, but that is just drying, if it can dry on such a horrible rainy day. So where are we with this nonsense? We've cleaned up this part of the mast, sanded that down, and that is pretty damn solid, so not too worried about that. There's a bit of a hole there, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is slot it into there. I'm going to make another mould with some silicone and this bit of plywood, essentially making that flat with the mast here, and then I'm going to turn it over and flood it with clear epoxy then, and then that should make that nice and tough, and yeah, then we're going to put maybe a couple of bolts through that, and there we should then have a viable mast again. Just thought I'd show you this, because this is the result of the epoxy pour on the mast, and I've taken so that's where the plywood was, and we poured the epoxy into the top, and even though it was a cold day, you notice that the epoxy flowed all the way through and made a nice job of filling up all the holes on the bottom. Not so brilliant at the top, but most of this is going to be sanded off, so I think we can live with that. So now I'm just going to clean it up, and then we need to take it down to the boat to measure where the bolts and stuff gone to fit it. But yeah, semi-successful. Okay, here is our mast. Not unhappy with it. It's a bit wonky in places, but we need to do a little bit of filling. Probably do some filling of there and once I get the sawdust out of that, there's some quite large gaps in there. So fill that, sand that down. Oh yeah, so we mixed up some epoxy and put some of these fibres in, 1 scoop to 50, and it forms this kind of a paste basically, so we can use that to fill in our little holes. Okay, back in the shed. Just cleaned up the last epoxy coat on the mast, and it's all looking pretty good, so just going to give it a quick primer up. Just thought I'd bring you in on the mast, which is now nearly done. So I've got 2 bolts that are going to hopefully pinch the fix together, and I've put this brass sleeve in, which is where the bolt goes through, the pivot bolt that holds it to the boat basically, and that's gone in. So yeah, 1 more coat of gloss and that will be ready to go to the boat. We need to get the navigation light that sits on the top there, probably a couple of pulleys for flags and bits and pieces, and find the kind of metal support that goes with it, that kind of holds it to side to side. Anyway, flies. Right, so it's in, such as it is, and you notice down here we've got the socket that's all ready for it. This is powered 12 volt DC for the lights, so you'll be able to wire that up. There you go, Mast saga over, installed.